Hello there. I just wanted to check in with a little cosmic weather update now that it feels like the new year has begun, with the sun beginning its northward movement now for the next 6 months. And I want to talk about two things. One is Mars retrograde, which peaks tomorrow, the 16th. And the other is a Venus-Saturn planetary war, which is taking place from Friday through Monday, 20th of January. So the first thing is Mars retrograde. So when a planet reaches its peak retrograde, it's directly opposite the sun and it's at its closest point to the Earth. So we feel its energies more. And the energies of Mars, we say Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of courage. It's a planet of decisive action, of war, of our intelligence, of risk-taking, of ambition, all things that in Ayurveda we connect with Pitta dosha. And the interesting thing about this recent Mars transit is that it's in its debilitation constellation of Cancer. And I say that meaning how we see it in the sky, right? And this means that it finds it hard to express all those qualities that I mentioned. So if you're a Mars ruled person, i.e. you're an Aries rising or a Scorpio rising, or you're in a Mars planetary period, you might be just finding yourself feeling more frustrated that you can't get things done, or finding yourself, particularly in this retrograde time, because retrograde is a strength for a planet, but it's a kind of raw strength. There's instability and unpredictability there. So again, if you're a Mars ruled person or you're a fiery person, you might be finding yourself really stirred into kind of unexpected outbursts, particularly of anger or hotter emotions, passion as well, right? So this will continue until the retrograde will continue all the way to the 24th of February. The debilitation part will end on the 21st of January, and we're in this peak part at the moment. I should also add that Mars is also the planet of the warrior, of the hero, of the one who wants to protect the vulnerable, of the one who wants to speak up or look out for the underdog. And, I've been thinking about this and this idea of Mars being opposite the sun right now, and sun represents, among other things, government and authority. There's this real sense of frustration and, let's just call it, anger and rising of will against government, against authority, in the sense that, people have felt let down. And I don't think we can say that that's just the case over this past couple of weeks. And there's been a number of things that have come out, whether it's in the UK, of course, these devastating fires in California are very clear manifestations of uncontrolled fire. And of course, there are ongoing warring situations all over the world, notably in the Middle East, that are all, also connected to this theme. And so what can we do about it? Well, when we think about how you balance an excess of fire in Ayurveda, we look at the other elements. And the ones that are most useful to help us balance fire are water and earth. Of course, water seems obvious. The cooling qualities. It's great that we're under a bright moon over this period, I have to say, because at least there is that cooling light in the night sky. We can also consider the earth element as a very, very stabilizing grounding. Fire needs grounding to burn in a way that is clean, that is clear, that is stable, that doesn't end up dried up and completely out of control. And also the space element, taking pause, going out for a walk, being in nature, pausing before you react to things, turning the screens off, walking out of the room, taking a moment before you maybe react to certain things. And I think, we're in this environment right now, whether it's, maybe in your social or family circles or in social media, where it's like people get angry if you're not angry enough. So there's real stoking of this going on right now. And so we can only take responsibility for ourselves and take that responsibility to create space, to pause. Because that's not to say we don't want to rise up for with righteous anger about things that need to be dealt with. But it's the way that we do it that we don't create all of this inner inflammation and we don't create more negative karma as a result of how we react to it. It really is that concept of wisdom in action that we can try and bring into our practices, into our mindset, and into how we're walking through the world, especially at the moment. So those are some things, and you can refer back to different things that I've written in the past or my courses about pacifying inflammation if you're really feeling this. But these are just some ideas of what you can do. The other thing I said I was going to mention is the Venus-Saturn planetary war. Now, Venus tends to win planetary wars because it's the brightest object in the sky, apart from the moon. And it is the planet of relationship and harmony. Saturn is the furthest planet, it's the slowest planet, it's the planet of karma and dharma. And it also can divide, so there can be this sense of maybe relationships, maybe previously harmonious relationships, just taking a bit of strain and stress over this weekend. And like I said, it runs through Monday the 20th. So there's obviously quite a lot going on in the world right now. I'm sure there's a lot going on in your own world right now. But when it comes to making any decisions around relationships, around contracts even, just pause over the weekend, And if you're feeling this, again, lean in to love. We say, when we talk about the elements, that love is the emotion that connects with the water element. And so, like I said before, from an Ayurveda point of view, what do we apply to excess fire or even excess constriction, even when we're feeling that sense of being divided, right? We can apply the balm of love. So bringing that into your meditation, bringing that into your practices, being around people that you love can all be ways to really stay like a beacon of calm and peace in what can feel like a pretty intense environment right now. So I hope all that is helpful. I'm wishing you really, from my heart, the most prosperous cycle, however far ahead you want to look at that right now, and sending you lots of love. And I will see you really soon. Take care.